Welcome back to the Record Radio Hour podcast. I'm as ever, your humble and very contrite host, Michael Lundy, and this is a really cool episode of the podcast where we sit down with local singer-songwriter and performer Kate Wasson. And this is an incredible story. You are going to enjoy it. We go from Jersey Shore, Pennsylvania to Mount Aloysius College to George Washington University, Washington, D.C., where we take a little trip to a campaign for magistrate here. It is an incredible story. All of this fits into this remarkable young woman's life. And we're going to hear the songs that she's written along the way and recorded, and just a remarkable story. And we're going to kick things off with a song that Kate wrote and recorded in Nashville. This is Waiting Game. Wait no more, boys and girls, friends and neighbors, ladies and gentlemen. This is Kate Wasson on the Rec Room Radio Hour podcast.
Dance around in a microwave light. I look up just to see your smile. I didn't know one look on your face could take me to my happiest place. Hold me in your arms so tight. Guess I never really had a fair fight. Because you are the one, and you have been since last June. When I said I'd wait for you, I never thought you'd be playing this waiting game too. You told me that I could never love you. I said, darling, that could never be true. I've loved you from the moment we met. It's like our fate was already set. You held me in your arms so goddamn tight. I guess I never had a fair fight. Because you are the one, and you have been since last June. When I said I'd wait for you, I never thought you'd be playing this waiting game too. Because you are the one, and you have been since last June. When I said I'd wait for you, I never thought you'd be
Game by Kate Watson, and she's going to tell us all about this song, but it's a great little way to start out this episode of the Rec Room Radio Hour podcast, because I've been waiting to interview Kate Wasson. So the waiting game for me is now over, so we welcome you to the Rec Room Radio Hour podcast, young lady, Kate Wasson.
Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, it's a pleasure. We had not known each other that long, so the waiting game for me was not that long. We were introduced by a mutual friend who told me about your musical background and all that. And for whatever reason, she said, "You guys ought to meet." Well, we did, and now collaborating on a show coming up here in the next couple weeks. So my waiting game was not that long, but welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
So we're going to get into all the music stuff here in a minute. Let's set the Wayback Machine. Let's rewind the tape all the way to the beginning. Where were you born? Where you grew up?
Born and raised in Jersey Shore, Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow.
Yep, out in the country. Grew up on a farm. Grew up riding horses.
Did you drive a tractor?
I did.
Oh,
I did.
Cool. Okay, that's cool. But you had horses.
Yeah.
No
yeah, I
kidding.
was a competitive show jumper. So I jumped fences.
Did you wear the black hat and all that?
I did.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and the breeches. Yep.
Oh, wow. So you were competitive in that? Like what level? Like state, national, what?
Yeah, state level, and then I did a little bit of like college level riding for one semester. But I started at the age of 4 and rode.
Now, when you're 4 years old and do you start on like little Shetland ponies, or do they put you on the big, like, draft horses?
I started on like a medium-sized pony.
Okay.
So not super small, but like not overwhelmingly big.
Wow.
And then worked my way up. I had a racehorse at the time of like being in high school.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. So you grew up on a farm. You had horses. Mom and Dad, were they musical? Did they sing or play guitar?
No, not at all.
No.
My grandfather on my mom's side, so my maternal grandfather, is very musical. He's like a very godly man. So like he would always sing hymns, always humming tunes, singing little ditties like around the house and whatnot. And he always pushed me to sing, but my self-confidence would get the best of me. And then on the other side, my father's mother, she sang kind of same thing like hymns, but she had a piano. Ooh. So I would always kind of play around with that when I was a kid.
Now, did you take... brothers and sisters? Do you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, one brother, 4 years younger than me.
Is he musical? Is he...
Not at all.
So you're it.
I'm it.
You're it. You're it in the family. Okay. Yeah. It's interesting because I think just anecdotally, the number of musicians that I've spoken to, in not only this forum, but others, sometimes both the parents are musical, sometimes they're not. And then it either goes to a secondary family, like a grandparent or an uncle or an aunt that kind of. So interesting. So it was really your maternal grandfather and paternal grandmother that kind of were the musical influences.
Yes.
Wow. And that whole gospel thing coming in there too, as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you had the horses, and you had the farm, and you had the tractor. What was the first musical spark in your life? Do you remember?
Oh, man. I would say probably I went to Nippenose Valley Elementary School in Nippenose Valley. Mm-hmm. It's now a nursing home. And I think they allowed you to start doing chorus and band in like 4th grade. Maybe 3rd grade. Mm-hmm. But before that, we had a phenomenal music program. And like we would play recorders, learn keyboard. Mm-hmm. And then
So you had the little plastic white recorders. Yes,
Yes.
Mary had a little lamp. Yeah.
Yes. So,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. My heart was set on a French horn. And
wow.
I think I was on the French horn for like maybe a month. And the music teacher was like, you do not have the lung capacity, because I had asthma. So he's like, why don't you try a trumpet? And so I switched to the trumpet. And then here actually, here's the family tie. My great uncle handed me a cornet that was silver. And like for those of you, a cornet is just like a smaller version of a trumpet. And I'm very petite, so it was perfect. And it had an elk, like I don't even know how to describe it, like emblazed kind of on it.
Yeah.
So I learned how to play the cornet and played that up until I think like 8th grade in the band.
Wow.
But that's when I started chorus too. And so that's where like the vocal foundation really happened. And so I always shout out the music teachers in primary because I wouldn't be here without like those techniques.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it's like 30 years later.
But I think it speaks to, I mean, you know, so, your mom and dad weren't musical. You had the grandparents, your brother's not musical. So really it was up to, the public school system and, those goofy little recorders and those goofy little music programs and that we had that blossomed into chorus and band and that planted the seed with it. Had we not had those programs, we wouldn't be sitting here today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
So the cornet, which is not I mean, you could maybe find a niche in popular music with a cornet, but it might be difficult. So I'm thinking that the bigger thing was getting into chorus.
Yeah.
As far as where you're at now.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. Did you fall into, singing in pitch? Did you fall into that normally, or did you have to really learn it? And then we'll talk about harmony singing later.
Yeah.
So, but, I mean, how was that for you?
Genuinely, like, when I was young, I don't remember. All I remember being young was I was deemed an alto. And that always was just, like, hard for me. And when I got older, I realized, like, I'm not really an alto. Like, I'm actually a soprano, but I can hit, like, some low notes.
Your range is in within that.
Yeah. Okay. So I think, like, looking back on it, like, if I would have been, like, in the right area, but everything happens for a reason. And, like, I had to learn that low range to expand the high.
Right.
But I think maybe I would have had a little more confidence, though, too. Because, I don't know, there's kind of that, like, what is it? Stigma of like where sopranos are like the go-getters. And,
like,
they're the ones.
Yes,
like they're the ones, you know what I mean? And so I'm like, oh dang, like, am I cool enough to
No. But see, as you get older, the altos kind of come into it's like, an alto, the sopranos are the go-getters, they're the perky and the cheerleaders.
Yeah.
But the altos get the job done.
Yeah, and I love how my voice developed because of that. Like, I have a very rich sound, and I get to throw in the super high notes and be my little soprano moment on harmonies. But I love, like, the earthiness of an alto sound.
Yeah. So, so you stuck with music through all public school up till graduation?
No, so I didn't do anything musical in high school.
Wow, really?
Yeah. I think
no band, no chorus, no nothing.
Nothing. I had tried out, like, my senior year of high school, I decided to break out of my, like, branches a little bit. And so, like, I did track and field, I did tennis, had never done that before. Oh, wow. And I decided to go out for the school musical. And, like, one of the most terrifying things of your life, like, to do, like, an audition. Yeah. And then to have them be like, oh, that was, like, really great. And then, like, you don't get called back or, like, you're not on the list was just, like, gutting for me. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'm not a singer. Like, I'm going to go to college.
Yeah.
But what happened in college then is...
well, wait a minute. Hold on. What was the musical?
Into the Woods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're better off.
Yeah, I think I was going for one of the princesses. And so that was my spiel.
Okay, so now you're in college. Where'd you go to college?
So my freshman year, I went to Mount Aloysius College out in Crescent, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
About 15 minutes past Altoona.
Got it.
Absolutely stunning. It looks like Hogwarts on the side of a mountain, like, just beautiful.
Yeah.
And I had 3 girl roommates, and the 2, like, we had a suite, and so, like, my roommate, and then there's the 2 suite mates. The suite mates really pushed me to sing. Like, I would just kind of sing in the shower, like, whatever.
Sure.
And I had started writing lyrics when I was 14,
Okay.
just to kind of get out of my own head, journaling, that kind of thing. You never really expect it to go anywhere.
Right. Now, when I'm going to go down a little rabbit hole. Were you writing? Were they poems that became lyrics, or were they like, I'm writing this as a song lyric, like with a verse and a chorus and kind of a structure to it?
Kind of a mixture of both and all. So, I've kept every journal I've ever had. Yeah. So one day I hope I like look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, what were you doing in like 2006?
Or you could look back and say, I could use this.
Yeah, and that has actually happened. The one, I think actually on this new album, there's a song called Betrayal, and the whole premise of that is like, betray me once, shame on you. Betray me twice, shame on me.
Right.
And that came from me flipping through a journal from like 2020. And that was all that was written on the page was like, betray me once. And I'm like, I have no idea the context. Like, I must have been angry that day.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But
so whoever betrayed you is out there somewhere. This song's about you.
Yes.
Interesting. So you start. So when you wrote the lyric, I'm just going to call them lyrics at this point. When you wrote these lyrics, did you have a structure? Did you say, like, I want this to be, were you cognizant of like, keys and rhythm that you wanted, the structure of the song, or is it just, these are lyrics and I'll put music to them later on?
Yeah. So I would call it unconscious music theory.
Okay.
And I think that all comes back to like the childhood learning. I couldn't verbalize to you what key I'm in.
Sure.
But I would know that I'm in key.
Right.
So like having that ear, and like I can read sheet music, and like I can write it if it like takes me a minute, but like I can write it all out. Mm-hmm. So in many ways, like, my standard writing procedure is like I either write a verse or a chorus, or I'll write both. Mm-hmm. And so what was happening from the age of 14 is like I was writing verses or like verses and choruses, mm-hmm. but I didn't have any of the musical structure around it. Like I'd have like the melody on a voice memo or something like that.
All right.
But yeah.
Okay. And we're going to... either this segment or the next segment, we're going to talk about your songwriting, structure, style, or whatever. But have you kind of stuck with that, that kind of process, or has it evolved into something different for you?
Yeah, it has. I would say those are the foundation mm-hmm. of my process. Mm-hmm. Every song I write starts out on a voice memo. And then I go to my notes app and like start writing out lyrics. Yeah. And I'm very odd. I don't scat. Like my producers try so hard to get me to scat, and I just can't. Just
to mumble out words and that to keep the melody going. Yeah.
Cannot. Like I can sing the notes, but I can't like scat. So most of the songs that I write are pretty much fully like written out by the time I get it to a recording stage.
Interesting. But you started writing the lyrics in that at 14. When did you, and we're going to get back to college in a minute. When did you start, like, you said Waiting Game was like the first song you wrote. Or
no,
one of the first ones.
That was the first recorded song. So this was like 2022, 23. Mm-hmm. But that one is one that, like, I woke up at 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, walk us through how you wrote Waiting Game.
Yeah, middle of the night, just 2:00 in the morning, I wake up and I get a riff or like a little melody in my mm-hmm. head. And I grab my phone and I just kind of start to sing it. And I still have it. They're posted on my website for people to listen to because I think it's cool to see how songs evolve.
Yes.
And so I like did that, and I think it was the first verse through the chorus as it is recorded.
Oh, wow.
And then that was kind of another situation where, like when we talk about the recordings, I had recorded, the first song I ever recorded was called Put Down the Bottle.
Uh-huh.
And then we decided to do this album, which Waiting Game is on. We pretty much wrote the song in 10 minutes. Like, I sat down with the guitarist. I'm like, this is my voice memo. And, like, he had written something beautiful in, like, 10 minutes.
Wow.
We did one take. And, like, I thought it was just a practice take. And I finished, and he was like, okay, like, you're all set. And I'm like, what do you mean?
So
like,
what we heard to bring the show in, that was one take.
Yeah, that was one take.
Wow.
Yeah, that was one take.
So you have no red light anxiety. In other words, when the recording button's pressed, you have no anxiety. Like you're just comfortable doing the process then.
Yes and no. I think
wow.
Waiting Game's such a special song because it's very, very intimate. The lyrics are very intimate, and it paints a picture. Like every song I write, I want it to be very visual and like I want you to feel it. I think it just was a culmination of like being inspired and like the tone of it being a little more subtle. I think pop songs can be difficult for me to record because I want them to sound perfect and like pitches on perfect and like riffs on perfect. Waiting Game was acoustic, and it's like you get to be a little more raw and not think about it so much.
Before we get back to college, so growing up, what kind of music were you listening to? What were you listening to? Who was like your? I'm reluctant to say hero, but what was your touchstone musician, songwriter, act, performer as you were growing up?
My parents lived on 90s country.
Okay.
So I think probably Garth Brooks is my biggest hero. Like when I first moved to Nashville, he was on my manifestation list for like, God, if you give me a mentor, please let it be Garth Brooks. But
now wait a minute. Now, did you know at the time that Garth lives in Oklahoma?
No, but see, he was opening a bar and I applied for a job. And it's called Friends in Low Places. It's the biggest bar on Broadway in Nashville. And he does a podcast there. And so like that's
Garth
why I kind
Brooks
of thought.
does a podcast?
Yeah. And it's beautiful. He plays too. He takes requests from fans and like plays live. Yeah.
Oh, funny. Oh, I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah.
So Garth Brooks was your okay.
He's the one I go to, like, he's the artist that has a song for, besides Taylor Swift, because I'm a Swiftie, like, for life.
There you go. Good.
They both, I think, have songs for, like, anything that you're feeling. In different eras, which is kind of funny. Like, Taylor's very modern.
Sure.
Whenever I want to just, like, I don't know, I think country can be very like sad, like let's drink a beer and like be sad. But then there's other country songs that's like very honky tonk, and like growing up riding horses is like, okay, this stuff's pretty fun and like wild and rambunctious. But
oh wow, interesting. So you're so born and raised with 90s country then. Cool. Now, have you ever gotten to meet or see Garth Brooks, and did you ever get to meet him?
I haven't gotten to meet him, but I have seen him.
Yeah.
So the closest I got, within the first month of moving to Nashville, I got invited to a Billboard like press event, and they were interviewing Garth. And so I think there was only like maybe 30, 40 people, if that. It was at, oh my goodness, I forget the name, just a little small Marathon Music Works in Nash. And it was so cool because basically it wasn't a concert. He didn't sing. He just sat down and talked. As a young musician, I learned so much. Like, he talked about the industry and then, like, talked about his shows in Vegas and, like, gave a real view into what it's like to be in this business for 30 years, you know? Or longer. I don't even know. He's been in it for so long. But
paid his dues in Oklahoma and bar bands and stuff. But so he's been doing this for a while. Interesting. Wow. And you said you got to see him in concert?
Yeah, got
Yeah?
to see him. One of my favorite shows was at the Opry. I got to see the 5,000th show of the Opry.
Oh,
And
wow.
they ended it with Garth and Trisha Yearwood, and they took the band off the stage, and it was just Garth and Trisha, and they would literally, like, she would just turn to him and be like, put it in E flat,
Yeah.
and he'd tune the guitar, and they'd, like, sing a song. It was just awesome. But then I saw him in Vegas, and it was a no phones concert. And, like, if I ever had the opportunity to do one, I would love, like, it would be so cool, I think, from a, like, artist perspective. We got these little pouches that, like, they seal your phone in with an RFID, basically, and you can't take pictures or anything throughout the whole show. And it was so cool because I was, like, actually paying attention and, like, living in the show.
Interesting. Oh,
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
So, but you got to see him because the Rhine. Now, when you say Opry, you meant the Rhineman, correct?
No,
Or,
he
it
was at
over-
the new Opry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
All
new
right.
Opry. I did see him. So my mom is a huge fan. She's been, like, when he was touring in the 90s, early 2000s, she went to all of them. She went to the infamous, like, Central Park show.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So when I was younger, I think, like, I don't remember how long it's been. I think maybe I was fresh out of high school. He came to Bryce Jordan, and
Okay.
like, kind of same thing. He's just a cool artist. Like, at the end of every show, he normally does his encore where, like, he'll ask the audience what they want to hear, and it'll just be him and an acoustic, and he just plays as many songs as you want him to play.
Wow.
And I'm like, wow, mad respect. Like,
Yeah, no
but that's
kidding.
why he was entertainer of the year
Yeah.
for so long.
His mad work ethic. I mean, he's like the country equivalent, I think, of Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah. Except that whole, what was that alter ego he had for a while?
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. I forget what his name is, like
I forget.
Chris Evans or
Something like that. But he looked like Marilyn Manson. I'm like, ugh.
Yes,
I'm not
and the
sure.
sad thing is like that album is actually kind of good. Like, I
Oh,
like
really?
some songs off of it, but I'm like, oh man,
Yeah,
like,
well, but as an artist, it's like, I want to try something. I want to try something different. And I think when you're at that level of Garth Brooks, it's like, I want to try something different. Are you willing to come with me to do this? And I think in that case, the majority of his fans like, no, Garth, yeah, kind of weird guy, but
Yeah.
I respect him for doing it.
yeah, exactly.
So okay, so let's get back to college. So you're in college. Your roommates, your three roommates or two roommates?
Yeah, three roommates.
They encouraged you to sing. Were they singers? Were they musicians?
No, not at all. They were going to school for nursing, and then
what
my
were you majoring
roommate, my original major was biology.
Okay.
So, like, I was like a pre-med track, so like anatomy and physiology. Yeah, was my first
It
degree.
was your first. So you went to St. Aloysius?
Mount Aloysius.
Mount Aloysius.
Yes.
You went there for a year, you said.
Yeah, for
Okay.
freshman year.
All right, but luckily during that freshman year, you roommated with these three girls, and they encouraged you to sing. And
Yes.
you said you were like singing around like your grandfather did, just like singing
Yeah.
around the house and all
Yep.
that. And you said they weren't musicians, they weren't singers or anything, but wow, interesting. So
Yeah, they were just like cheerleader, like just the best like friends, little
Okay.
like cheerleader. Like, we would all sing, like
Yeah,
sing
yeah.
into the radio and stuff. But then like that dorm was a co-ed dorm, so like half was girls, half was boys.
Mm-hmm.
We lived on the other side of the hall from the boys baseball team, and there were several of them who knew how to play guitar and kind of like sang and stuff.
Yeah.
So we ended up, like, my suite mates were just very personable and like outgoing, and I was always a little bit more like introverted until I get to know you. But they made a connection, and I met one of the boys, and he taught me 3 chords on the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd always had a guitar, but I never knew how to play it.
Okay.
And he taught me 3 chords, and they're still the only 3 chords that I really can play.
Well, what are those chords that you know?
I probably can't even name them. I think it's G, D, and A.
That's all you need. You only need 3 chords. Go ahead. All right, go ahead.
3 chords and the truth.
That's right. So the baseball player teaches you the 3 chords on the guitar that you had that you didn't know how to play.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Fender.
Let's keep going.
Yes.
And while your roommates, your suite mates, are cheering you on.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So at the time, Vine was really big and stuff. So they were pushing me to put videos on Vine.
Okay.
And I had a couple videos on YouTube, but I forget how it happened. There was something that came my way that was called like the American Songwriting Awards.
Okay.
And my roommate was like, well, you should submit something. Like, what's the worst that's going to happen? And so I'm like, no, that's a good point. Like, I'm going to submit something. Because I was like, I bet I can just do lyrics only.
Yeah.
And so I submitted, I don't even know what the song was. And there's no way for me to find it now. But I ended up being like a runner-up in like the top like 10 like runner-ups. And so I was like a silly little 19-year-old. And I'm like, like, maybe there really is like something to this, you know? Like,
So
I don't know
your
why.
first time out, your first time like submitting a song
Like publicly.
Yeah. And you come in like a runner-up in the national competition.
Yeah.
I would have been pretty dang impressed with that. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So I spent my freshman year there and decided to move back home here, and I went to Lycoming College.
Okay.
So I continued to pursue biology. At the time, I wanted to be a veterinarian. That's a whole other story for another day.
Okay.
But basically, my freshman year there at Lycoming, I was really torn because we had euthanized like my heart horse. He had arthritis. And like I knew it was coming, but there's just nothing that compares to like when it actually happens. I lost all will to be a vet. And it was all I wanted from the age of 8. And like I spent almost a decade shadowing a vet, and just overnight I was like, I can't do it. Like I don't want it.
Yeah. But it's a good thing you did that then, as opposed to like, okay, I'm going to suck it up and do it. And then No,
and everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
And so I made the decision, like my dad was still really pushing me. He's like, you should continue in medicine or like something in healthcare. So, 'cause I'm already 2 years in. But my mom has background in psychology. So I kind of knew that I would like psychology. And a lot of times at Lycoming, they want you to like minor. Mm-hmm. I ended up hating biology with my life. Like I barely passed.
So,
yes.
Do you think it was because of the whole, the whole euthanasia of the horse and that you just like, I'm not, I mean.
There was some issues. I had some issues with faculty.
Oh, okay. All right. So it was a lot more than just, okay. All right.
Yeah, and I think too, like hindsight's 2020, like obviously now I'm 30, at the time I was 19.
Yeah.
I don't think I wasn't able to communicate my educational needs, and like I didn't have someone there that could see my needs and like advocate for me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. Absolutely.
So like biology was so hard for me, and like I barely passed. Like I think I had like a 2.7 GPA.
Now before, I'm sorry, Lycoming College. Before Lycoming College, though, you were doing good.
Oh yeah, I think I had like a 3.6.
Interesting. Okay. Well, we won't digress into that, but okay, interesting.
Yeah.
So, okay, go ahead.
So I took a abnormal psychology course and had a phenomenal teacher, and he ended up like pushing me. He was taking a course or like teaching a course the next semester in forensic psychology, and he was like, I think you'd be really good in this course, like if you want to take it. I have openings. So I took forensic psychology and I fell in love with it. And
now, what's forensic psychology?
Forensic psychology is there's kind of a whole field that's very like diverse. So think of like criminal justice and psychology combined. So it includes like prison psychology, oh my goodness, what else? Like hostage negotiation, testifying in like as a professional witness in court, things like that.
All right. Okay. Interesting.
I loved hostage negotiation. Like that was probably my like strongest course. Like I did very well at hostage negotiation, and I ended up so I then decided to pick up psychology as a major as well.
Sure.
So my degrees are in biology and psychology.
Cool.
I wanted to intern in a prison, so I interned at Muncie.
Oh boy.
I had the time of my life. Like day one, I was just like, this is so cool. Like I was learning so much stuff. Like my mentor was like, you are one in a million. Like nobody comes in here and like is as chill as you are. But I'm like, wow, this is really cool to like learn from. And there's just some really cool cases. And I had some hostage negotiation training down there too. So I was just like living my life.
Oh wow.
So at that time, you're like trying to figure out what to do after college.
So let's back up here because we were kind of like side smacking like coming. However, one professor changed your
whole outlook.
Yeah. And he is a professor at Like Cumming. So so
not anymore.
It's fair. Well, at the time he was. So.
Yes.
Work with me, Kate. I'm trying to get out of this hole I've dug for myself. So this professor at Like Cumming College, wow, and you had no idea that this was like, ooh, this is something I would like to do.
Yeah.
Cool. Wow. So there you are at Muncie Prison, and again, everybody has their I don't know what they the not your dream job, but the place where you fit. Yeah. Interesting that it one person and it is in like forensic psychology and wow, interesting, cool.
Yeah.
Wow. So keep going because we got to get to Nashville at some point. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
So same professor pushed me to get my master's in forensic psychology, which is kind of the next step, or getting your doctorate.
Okay.
And one of my problems with biology is I'm not good at research. Like certain things I just cannot wrap my head around.
Sure.
And so that kind of turned me off to like getting a PhD. And I wanted to be more like hands-on if I was going to be like a psychiatrist or something like that. So I looked into a doctor of psychology degree, and one of the places that I looked at was George Washington University in DC, and they have a forensic psychology master's. So I was applying for the master's, and then I was like, okay, that'll be the first step into getting into there. Yeah. So we go down for an interview, and I walk in. And they're like, okay, he's like ready to see you now. And I'm like, okay, like cool. Like I'm expecting like a cool, like not younger interviewer, but you know what I mean. And I walk in, and it turned out to be the head of the department.
Oh,
like,
wow.
The gentleman that created the forensic psychology program was interviewing me. And he was so cool. And this is another like change your life moment.
Yeah.
He looked me straight in the eyes and he was like, honestly, kid, like, I didn't invite you here because of your grades. And I'm like, I know, sir. And he's like, but I did invite you here because your resume is really interesting. Like, tell me about working at the car dealership. And like, I'd been working for my dad.
Oh.
And so basically what happened is the interview just turned into like him and I conversing, and like we had a wonderful like conversation.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, I said, he was asking like, what are your goals? And I said, well, like I really loved prison psychology. I've always kind of liked the idea of being a defense attorney, but I just don't know if I could. And so I was like, I would like to maybe be like a witness for like a psychology witness or something. Yeah. And I said, but I do have an opportunity to run for district magistrate. So I think that if I could get this degree, the elections, it was 3 years away at that point. Master's is 2 years. I was like, if I do this master's, I think the forensic psychology would be really helpful to the community. Like, I knew I wouldn't be running on a legal platform.
Right.
And I was like, so many mental health cases, like, don't need to go through certain court procedures. And if I could do something to help that, then that's what I wanted to do. And he looked me right in the eyes and he was like, I'm going to be honest with you. I think you need to do that instead of coming here for school. And he said, I'll gladly put you on the wait list and we'll give you a call for spring. But I think you need to pursue that. And so that's what I did.
All right. So now if I had really great special effects and, I had a whole big team of people doing audio stuff, like, okay, so you're in the interview and it was, it's something you had to tell him. You said, well, I'm going to run. And you're how old?
Oh my gosh.
Ballpark.
At that time, I'm like 23,
all
24.
Right. So you're in the interview and, they say, well, and you tell the head of the forensic psychology department at GW University in Washington, D.C., that you're going to what?
Run for district magistrate.
See, this is where I would have the tires screeching. What?
Yeah.
Okay, back the truck up. How? Why did you want to run for district magistrate?
Yeah.
At the age of what?
At the time of the election, I was 26. Like, my birthday's in January.
But at the time, you said it was 3 years away. So you're 23 years old.
Yeah.
And you knew you were going to run for district magistrate.
Yeah. Yeah. And I knew, so it all came about.
Yes, please. Enlighten us because this is fascinating.
My family's been in rental properties for ages. My dad and his one brother. And my uncle was like in the office and knows the secretaries and everything. And the magistrate at the time was Jerry Lepley, who well respected, and I appreciate him so much for everything he's done over the years for the Jersey Shore community. He, I think, had been thinking of retirement for the past like 2 cycles. And they had asked my uncle if my uncle would consider running. And my uncle was like, what the heck would I want to do that for?
Yeah.
And he said it to me, and I was like, well, I'm actually curious. Like, what are the qualifications to be a district magistrate?
Here it comes, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. You have to be 18 years old, have a high school diploma or a GED, and not even before you run, like only if you're elected, you have to take a state mandated training and pass an exam. If you are not a member of the bar or a lawyer. So I ended up, to make my life even more difficult, a year and a half before the election, I took the exam. And it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I equivalent it to 4 years of law school in 4 weeks. And we were COVID. So this was in 2020. And normally you do it in person down in Harrisburg, and you go from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day. They're teaching you everything from like criminal law, civil law. We had environmental law, like DCNR came in one day. Drowning you in information. And then at the end of those 4 weeks, you have to pass an exam, and it's, I think, 100 multiple choice questions. There's fill in the blank, there's true or false, and then there's essays.
Oh, dear Lord.
So, like, I had to write, and I think I had like 4 pages of handwritten, like, essay on, like, how an arraignment happens. Like, from step 1 all the way to like the end. And and you only have 3 hours to do it or so. So I wanted to do it because then I'm like, okay, God forbid, like, I don't pass, I have time to like retake it. So did that, made it.
Oh, good, because I was like, Kate, and you could take it after you're elected, correct?
Yeah, you can. That's the normal.
See, here's my, I was like, hey, what if you fail it? Then your opponent's going to come out and say, she can't even pass it. Oh.
And that's what we were so worried about. And, like, I didn't tell anyone that I was taking it. Like, nobody knew that I was taking. Besides, I had a campaign manager. So he knew, my dad knew, and my mom knew. And, like, that was it. And I ended up, like I went to Harrisburg. I think I booked a hotel 2 days before the test and just locked myself in the room and like studied my butt off for 2 full days.
Wow. Well, that's pretty brave of you to do that. That's
you.
it. Yeah. In this, I think in the state of Pennsylvania, that you just laid out the background to be a district magistrate, or same with coroner. You don't have to have a medical background to be a coroner in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Nope.
The heck.
Yeah. No, most people don't realize.
So okay, so the campaign comes. You've passed your grueling exam in Harrisburg. The campaign comes and
Lost.
okay, all right.
But I like to say now that losing was the greatest thing that ever happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think in so many ways, like the whole experience of an election, like I don't think people realize how much energy goes into it. Like there's so much going on behind the scenes, and like just so many moving pieces at all times. And we ran 100% clean campaign, which I'm very proud of.
Good.
And I think I got like 30% of the vote. So as a like young 20-something who'd never run before, and when we polled after the fact, the polls came back and said that age was the major factor. So I'm like, I always kind of thought that I'd be running again in 6 years, but it's next
it's a 6-year term.
It's a 6-year term.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's coming up when, or is it past?
That'll be 2027.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you ready to announce now on our podcast? Okay. I know. I was kidding. I'm kidding. I'm joking, Kate. I'm joking. But if you do, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That, I mean, you want to talk about life experience?
Yeah.
And you say, well, it's just a little, just a little municipal election. No, because you're right.
And it was a large territory.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people don't realize, but like his boundary, well, it's Denise Dieter now, so her boundary, like it covers Jersey Shore, Pine Creek on the like Lycoming County side of Pine Creek, all the way up to like Cedar Run. So very, very large area. I think there was like 10,000 registered voters.
Wow. And you got 30% of the vote of that 10,000 people who voted.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's, I mean, obviously you're pretty cool with it, but I mean, hell, I'd take that and run with it. I mean, geez, that's good. That's good. That is a wonderful life experience.
Yeah. No, and it opens so many doors. Like I got to meet governors. Like I got to meet Governor Corbett several times, and like he's super cool. Got to meet Governor Shapiro. Just super interesting people, and then the friendships I've made from that were like so meaningful to me.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so I won't ask you if you. Well, I'm not gonna ask you if you do it again. You can come back if you do. So whatever happened with George Washington? Excuse me.
They ended up. They didn't waitlist me. Like, I didn't get accepted for the wait list. And so I took it as a sign. Like, I think I got that notice right before I enrolled for the magistrate school. Okay. So I took it as a sign of, like, God's putting you, like, on the path you're meant to be on right now.
Cool. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
They're lost anyhow. So, all right. So the election's over. GW is in the past. What are you doing?
Well,
and you're still now. Are you still doing music, or did you just kind of put that on hold while you're? Yeah. Yeah,
it was kind of on hold when I was at Lycoming. Like I think it was the first year I was on campus there. There was a club called the Entertainment Club, and it was basically a group for like DJs, producers, singer-songwriters, just anybody involved in like media, to come together. And in the beginning, it was really well organized, and then it kind of like fell apart. But long story short, I made a connection there and she was like an R&B style singer, like beautiful voice, very much like Ariana Grande, and like the technique and everything. But she didn't write. And so I don't even know how I got pulled in, but I got pulled into the project to write lyrics. And then somebody was pulled in as a producer, and then she was doing the singing. So her and I would sit down, and I so want to record this song because I still remember bits and pieces of it, and nothing ever went with it. So I kind of like, oh, would that be cool if I like pull this from the archives and do something with it? Yeah. But her and I like worked on lyrics, worked on melody, and then the producer just disappeared, and the whole project, because I'm like, I don't know how to produce, I can't do that.
Now we're and again, I was kind of focused on where are you at? Are you
Lycoming? You're
still at Lycoming?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This would have been 2014, 2015, and then at the same time.
Well, that doesn't sound like stepping away from music, though. I mean,
no, it was. It's funny, like, like kind of the unconscious putting yourself on your path.
Yeah.
That same year, I was trying to be involved in campus because I was a commuter and very hard to make friends and stuff. So, they have a concert committee. At the time, Lycoming used to have super dope concerts.
Yeah.
Like, we used to get, like, Maroon 5 and Kesha and super cool people.
Yeah.
Mac Miller. So the year that I was going out for it was when Scotty McCreery and Danielle Bradbury from The Voice and American Idol came to perform. Mm-hmm. And basically what I was like running for was to be the committee chair for next year. And I think it was me and one other girl. And like you basically had to like help organize the concert on concert day. Like you're doing all the behind the scenes stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it was super cool. So in some ways I look back and I'm like, that was my first like feet on the ground stage experience,
right,
without ever knowing, like, for myself, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No.
It's like a taste of the medicine.
Yeah. But you're seeing it from the whole, the down and dirty production, logistics.
Yeah, like
that's
sound
not a bad
check.
thing to have, that's not a bad thing to have done. So, because, I mean, unless you're a touring, like you've a band and that, and you come up through, some of that stuff can be very, I'm sure it can be just very intangible to you. All the goes into it. So you got that.
Yep.
Wow.
No, and I think like my mind works. I like to understand things,
mm-hmm.
and I like to see things like, and it's not even necessarily like, oh, I need to understand it in depth. But like seeing a stage for the first time, and it's like, oh wow, like seeing the guys like rappelling from the ceilings to put the speakers in, it makes you appreciate those people. And so like, I hope one day that like I get to have my own shows, and it's like, wow, I hope I remember to take a minute and be like, thank you so much.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because even as an audience member, most of them don't sit and look and like. They started this at like 1:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah, well, like actually, the day before.
The day before. Yeah. Tearing it down is, as I say, we don't get paid to play music on stage. We get paid for all the work that we have to do to have that little 1 or 2 hours. So, so did you get the gig at Lycoming to chair the committee?
No, I didn't get that either.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Was it a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it was, I mean, like everything happens. I ended up working more for my dad, which would be kind of a key point later in life.
Okay.
Because when I graduated college,
mm-hmm.
I ended up working for him full time.
Okay.
So basically I was juggling it all in college, whenever I wasn't having class, I would go over, we had a lot on Lycoming Creek Road, so it was like 10-minute drive.
Okay.
And so I just bounce basically back and forth. So I say I was full-time. My dad's like, there's no way that you had 40 hours. And I'm like, if you're counting like all the backs and forths and stuff, like it was definitely full-time for college.
Yeah, Dad, come on. Come on. Okay, so you're out of college, kind of working for Dad. When are you getting the call from Nashville? When are you getting that? And what kind of leads up to that?
Yeah, so after I lost the election, I was just so drained that my mom wanted to take just a little like girls trip. And I'd never been to Nashville before. And at the time there was like a direct flight for like an hour and a half. And I was like, let's just do that. Like we'll go for like 4 or 5 days or whatever. I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah.
And within like the first 5 minutes of stepping off the plane, it was the first time I've really felt home.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah. And it was it's like one of those weird experiences. Cause like, obviously I've never lived outside of Pennsylvania, like never really, like I travel and whatnot, but stay pretty close to home.
Yeah.
And so, we had like a wonderful week, did all the normal Nashville stuff. And I ended up writing a song while just walking around the hotel that was on later the album.
Yeah.
And, I think it was 6 months after that until I got back to Nashville, and I went for the Opry's 5,000th show.
Yeah.
After that, I started going every like 2 months and then every month. And then I made a connection in Nashville, but he grew up in Coudersport. And I'm like, bro, I live in Jersey Shore. Like, what are the chances?
Yeah.
And so, anytime I would go down to Nashville, I would try to like connect and hang out. We'd go grab drinks or whatever. And so one night we were doing like drunk karaoke in his apartment living room. And I did a solo, and he was like, Kate, I didn't know that like you could actually sing. And I'm like, I didn't know I could actually sing either. And so he was like, well, would you want to like record a single sometime? Because he was going to school down there for production. He had been in a like punk rock band. And I was like, yeah, I'd love to. Like, it's always been on my bucket list that like if I had the opportunity to do music, I would do it. So we made the arrangements, and he was like, I have a really awesome guitarist. Like, I'll see if I can line him up. And the first time I ever met the guitarist was like the day we recorded that song. And,
now, did you go to, so you went to Nashville, you fell in love with Nashville, you went back like twice a month, and that, was your intention just to, like, I like Nashville, I want to be here, or was your intention, like, I want to try my hand at this music thing?
I think my intention was, I knew my life needed to change. Like, I was miserable in the car business. Like, I had just gotten to a place where like I was burnt out, and like the work wasn't enjoyable. Yeah. And so
you've been doing it since you were like
baby
forever.
Basically. Yeah. And so and I don't think people realize, like, across the board, when you're in business, like, people don't give you grace. Like, that's very hard to, like, be struggling and then continually be like, well, you're just still not enough. Like, that just burnt me out at, like, 20 some years old. Yeah. So Nashville very much for me was, like, a place of healing. But I always thought I would, like, by chance meet the right person. Like, I think Nashville is very much a city of, like, divine timing. And, like, if you're gonna meet Garth Brooks on a random street corner, like, it's gonna be in Nashville.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, I don't think I would have, like, looking back now, I don't think I got the full extent of, like, the music side of Nashville, but I fell in love with what I did get to experience.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let's make a break here, because I think this is a good time to, like, take a break.
Perfect.
We are going to listen to "Hopeless Hope." Tee that one up for us. When did you write it? When did you record it? You know, give us some background on this one.
I think "Hopeless Hope" was written in the fall of 2023. And Glass House, the album that it's on and just released, was recorded in January of 2024.
Okay.
"Hopeless Hope," again, started out on voice memo. And I don't even know what inspired it. I think I was just like packing up my house to move to Nashville and just kind of pondering, like, the opening line of the song is it a waste to create scenarios inside my mind just to pass the time? And so, like, for me, I think it was like this idea of like, okay, is all this for nothing? Or like, are all these big dreams and like ideas you have in your head, like, is hope, like, what is hopeless hope, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fun little acoustic song.
Cool. All right, Kate Wasson, Hopeless Hope, as we go out of part one of her fascinating life story, boys and girls. Hopeless Hope, Kate Wasson, here on the Rec Room Radio Hour podcast.
Is it a waste to create scenarios inside my mind just to pass the time? Is it okay if I wait just a second to calculate if it's worth it? I got hopeless hope, it's so endlessly cold, but I don't know if it's working. It's so beautifully sewn in the fibers of my soul, but I don't know if I'm worth it. Hopelessly hoping. Is it alright if I might fight the darkness of my mind so I don't feel blind? I know I'm kind, it's intertwined. Sometimes I get misaligned, but it's lurking. I got hopeless hope, it's so endlessly cold, but I don't know if it's working. It's so beautifully sewn in the fibers of my soul, but I don't know if I'm worth it. Hopelessly hoping. Hopelessly hoping. Sometimes I try to hide within my mind when I can't fathom why, when hope is hard to find. I got hopeless hope, it's so endlessly gold, but I don't know if it's working. It's so beautifully sewn in the fibers of my soul, but I don't know if I'm worth it. Hopelessly hoping. Hopelessly hoping.
Hopeless Hope, and you said that was recorded about a year ago or so?
Yeah.
Wow.
January of 24.
Yeah. Okay, so we're in Nashville, and initially you kind of fell in love with the city and the vibe, but really not with the intention of doing music down there.
Yeah.
And so, and again, here, so you probably figured this out because you're an intuitive girl and it's your life, but you have had not one, not two, coming up on three like individuals that, like, you know, well, we also count, you had like Coming Guy, George Washington Guy, your roommates in, so that's three people. I got to do public math. You've had six people in your life that have kind of, you know, said, no, go this way.
Yeah.
Or do this.
And, like,
or step
put
out
me
of your
on that
comfort.
path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you put all that together at some point in your life? Or, you know, isn't that
Yeah.
cool?
So it's funny that you bring that up because Glass House as an album is basically a concept of that. Like, Glass House, the album, was written, like I had the visualization.
Now,
that,
Glass Houses is your first or second or third?
This is my second.
Second one. Okay.
It just was released here in January, and it's available everywhere to listen to.
All right.
I had this kind of visualization of a mirrored modern house set against like evergreens with like foggy, kind of misty mornings. And there's just no doors. And it's just you trapped inside the glass house. And there's nothing for you to do but reflect on your life and how you've gotten there. And so the original concept for Glass House was I presented, and it is kind of a stupid idea, but it could have been cool. I wanted each song to sound like a different room in the house. So like, I don't know. I think everybody knows of like a song in the kitchen, and like dancing in the kitchen has like a different vibe than
tracking with you.
like something spooky in the attic, or like, and then like something very kind of like sensual or like safe for like a bedroom. And kind of unconsciously, that's how the album kind of ended up panning out. But if you listen to the album from like song 1 to song 10, it tells that story of like, what have I done with my life and where do I go now?
Oh, wow. Wow. I'll have to give it a listen. So you're in Nashville. And 6 of, the people that have, kind of, given you a path or showed you a path or told you could do this path. And he's from Countersport.
Yeah.
Is he a mysterious guy, or can we say his name?
Yeah, no, I think he'd be fine. His name's Derek Matzinger.
All right.
And he was in a band called Headspace.
Okay.
And so they toured like out in Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, wow.
Did a lot of touring out there.
Okay.
And so we had a lot of fun doing the first album because I told him I wanted a 90s country sound.
All right, so hold on though. So drunk karaoke, like the next, soon after that, you're in the studio?
Oh yeah, so that happened.
So, yeah.
The drunk karaoke was Labor Day weekend.
Okay.
And
of what year? Just to put us in
23. Wait, no, 22. I'm sorry, 22.
Okay, so 3 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years ago.
Never stepped into a studio.
Never.
Okay, so 3 years ago. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we recorded Put Down the Bottle in November. So
and that's the
2
first
months
song
later.
that you did.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I rented an Airbnb, and Derek like had a microphone. Robert had guitars, everything, and Derek has all the like producing equipment and everything. And he's like, I think we can like record in the Airbnb. So we like set up in the kitchen, and I have some video.
How cool.
My best friend's a photographer, and so I was like, hey, do you want to go to Nash and like take some pictures and just like be in the experience with us? So he got some cool footage and stuff. But it's funny because like that was the first time I'd ever met the guitarist. And like as a new singer, I don't even know how I was able to like verbalize what was in my head. Like that's one of the things I've gotten a lot better with, I think, but as a musician, I think it's hard to like project what you're thinking.
Yes.
For somebody else to hear it,
right.
Or like understand where you're coming from.
Right. And again, I think it's salient to point out you're not a trained professional theory music person, so you can't say we're going to start at measure 4, and you're going to come in on the 1, and it's going to be in the key of A flat. So I mean, and I'm the same way. So so you're walking into this like, wow.
Well, and then and like I'm sure the guys are fine with me talking about it because we kind of chuckle and laugh about it now. But I was always in business, and I went into the whole recording thing with a business mind. And like for a female in the recording industry, like we all watch Taylor Swift, and I think a lot of us are like, okay, we understand the copyright issue and how easily your rights can be taken away in any deal, like a recording or a licensing deal.
Yep.
So I, like, God bless my soul, I was smart enough to like be that aware, but I was a little too harsh with the guys. Like they thought that I was like basically calling them like dishonest or like not trustworthy. And I'm like, no, I want to know like do I own the rights? Like, do I own my copyright? You know what I mean? Because, like, when you're a very new artist, there's so many terms that are thrown around.
Right.
Like, you have writing credits, and then you have royalties, and then you have, like, producing credits. Like, there's all different things. And when you're fresh out the block and you hear that somebody wants, like, equal rights of your song, I'm like, I paid for this song to get done. Like, why am I giving up any more rights? You know what I mean? And so as a young person, I learned a lot about that with that first song, and like how to copyright music, and like how to copyright lyrics, and then the differences between writing credits, and like how to properly, like, I do all my own distribution stuff too with DistroKid. So like, you're a new person and you have to learn how to like put in who the producer is and who the other songwriters were and like all this stuff. And you're like, oh my goodness gracious, what am I stepping into? Like, it's not just all fun and games and like singing.
And that's why I prefaced it and having that. And one thing about this show is there's no pre-interview or anything. This is all unscripted. I knew when you walked, you know, it's like you walked into a studio, never done it before, and this was 3 years ago. You know, you think, oh, it's just, you know, I've seen the video, the music videos of them in the studio, and it's so fun. No, it's not. It's not.
It's infuriating.
Yeah, like, well, in Nashville, it is very much a business. It's a commodity.
Oh, it's 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I stayed, visited with a friend who has a songwriter. I was in Nashville and I stayed with a professional songwriter at his house in Nashville. And it is. You get up, you have breakfast, and you go in and you write.
Yeah.
It's like a job.
Yeah.
And the recording, you know, I mean, these guys and girls are great. I mean, they walk in and it's like, boom, and you're done.
Yeah.
Because they know their stuff. But you're walking in there and with no idea.
No idea.
But
and like, no.
I could see how that would be intimidating to the guys. It's like, you know, first time you're in here and you're talking about copyright. Wait a minute. Wow, wait a minute. And I'll be honest with you. I think I would have looked a little askance. So really?
Yes.
But go ahead. Go.
Yeah, no. So, then we got into like recording the album, which was like 2 months later. And like, I finally did research and stuff like this. And I'm like, okay, like I finally understand like where this is coming from. And like, I think what was cool about the experience is like, I got to help teach them things too. Cause like, they're both songwriters as well. And like learning how to copyright, or even just having a friend to help walk you through that process. Like it is a beast to try to get anything done. And then the whole releasing process is like a huge machine. Yeah. That takes a lot to get done. But we laugh about it now. I'm like, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean it like that. I just like wanted to make sure we're all like protected and you know.
Well, and you know, and it speaks to you as an individual, and it speaks to them as professional, mature individuals that, you know, because it's like, really, who do you think you are? That could have really ended badly, but you know. It didn't, obviously. So okay, so you have this first album out. What's the name of the album?
Legend in Time.
Ooh, okay. Is it a concept or is it just a collection of?
It is. So the name comes from I had a racehorse, and it was the last horse that I rode competitively.
Okay.
And his barn name was Legacy, and his racing name was A Legend in Time. And when we got down, the album originally was going to be called Watch Me, out of the sheer, like, anytime somebody tells me, like, you can't do something. And that's what happened with that first album, and so many people were like, you can't do that. Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, watch me. And we got to writing that song, and it ended turning up into a ballad that I called Shine originally, and it's kind of like a play on This Little Light of Mine, if you remember the little like nursery rhyme. it's like a play on that melody, and it ends with and I'll be a legend in time. So it was kind of cool to come full circle, be like tying the little girl, I think, would be proud of this album. But it's very I wanted just a 90s Broadway sound. So there's some harder rock in there, like honky tonk rock, I would probably call it. Some pop country. There's an ode, which was fun. That was the one I wrote in the hotel. Yeah. And explaining that to the producers, like, I'm like, yeah, I have this song, but like, there's no chorus. Like, it's just 3 verses. Yeah. And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I don't know. It's just three repeating things. Yeah, yeah. And he's like, I think that's an ode. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel fancy.
Yeah, there you go. You're over there. You didn't know it?
Yeah.
Cool. Wow. So that album, we're gonna when we end up, we'll tie up all your social media, your website, and all. But all the this album and all your stuff is available on all the streaming services and that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you have that one under your belt, and because it's Nashville, everybody's beating your door down because it's so good.
Yes. Yeah. I think so. Waiting Game. I released it May 5th. Of 2023. Okay. And within a week it did 10,000 streams. So that was like my little
streams, just like general streams that you aggregate on DistroKid, or like from one specific
10,000 on Spotify.
10,000?
Yeah.
In the first week?
Yeah, in the first week.
Dang.
And I'd never posted, like, I was a brand new Spotify account. Like, I didn't know anything. All right,
there's thousands of us that want to know, what's your secret?
I have no idea. I think I've talked about it I have a contact in Nashville, and I pick her brain because I'm like, I've never gotten anything close to it after. And I think like partially what attributes to it is I had a fairly big social media following. Like I had 14,000 followers on TikTok, and like 1,500 very consistent followers on Facebook. Like my followers share everything. Okay. So I think that first song, because it came out of nowhere, and the sound of it is very like intimate and like in the room with you, I think people just really connected to it.
Cool.
And blew it up. Yeah. But then the album itself released November of that year.
Of 23.
Yeah.
Okay. So and it's so different now than it was even 15, 20 years ago about, it did well. The concept of doing well in the music business now is just so anathema to what it was 20, 30 years ago, or even 60 years ago. Did it do well as far as you're concerned? I guess that's probably the best way to frame that.
No. So what... It's kind of funny, and like I hope this is like inspirational for people out there. I will say I'm very good about not getting hung up on numbers.
Good.
And I think it's because of the political, like I went through that phase and got through it. The numbers don't matter to me as much because I have to take accountability where it's like, okay, well, I'm not putting my stuff out because I'm not posting on social media. So there's not as many people who are getting it in front of them. So like, of course, I can't just expect to pray to God and hope that it gets put on a million ears. You know what I mean?
Right.
But at the same time, like I try to have the mentality where even if I get 20 streams on a song, can you envision 20 people in a room? And if you can envision 20 people in a room, like, that's a cool experience in itself. And those 20 people are probably not friends or family. Like, those are 20 strangers that are listening to your music. And, like, it's cool on Spotify. Like, I'll get 2 people that listen from the Philippines, or, like Switzerland's a big one for me. And, like, that's just cool. Like, I don't care if there's 5 people. Like, I just think it's cool somebody over there is like listening to my music. Because you're the one person
that's touching their lives with your song.
Yeah.
See, now you've become the one person.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
No, but I mean, that's, and that is, And that's why I prefaced the question was like, is it as successful? Is it as successful to you? And I think I think you've hit the nail. 20 people. Hey, that's 20 people.
Yeah.
And I think at our level, at the level of that I'm at, and that you're currently at, because you're going to make it. You're really good.
Thank you.
And I'll quantify that even more at the end. I think that's a good perspective, and it's also interesting how you apply the life lesson you learned from that campaign to your grounding yourself in the expectations of music.
Yeah.
Politics and music, but I mean how they
Yeah, how worlds collide is just
yeah.
That's what's been so interesting for me, like across my life, is like when you look, like I used to struggle so much, and like why I haven't really like shared the story before is like how do I talk about all this? Because like most people think you're an absolute lunatic for changing your career path 7 times, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I've always been very resilient in, like, I've always wanted to just learn. And, like, I don't care about the degrees. I don't care about the titles. Like, I just want to learn. And so the same thing with music is it's like, I started out with, like, a manifestation goal list of, like, win a Grammy. And, like, now I'm kind of like, you know what? Yeah, that'd be nice. But at the same time, like, I would rather know that I impacted 1 million lives. Yeah. Or 1 life.
Yep.
But then receive gold.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, you're much more mature than your chronological age implies. So you've got the first album out. Did you start working on your next album immediately, or So bring us from the first album up to the second, up to now.
So most people, like, if you don't know, when you're recording and releasing an album, there's a whole process. And I was told to do waterfall releases. And I absolutely hate them.
Okay, explain what a waterfall release is.
A waterfall release is you slowly release the singles off your album over a 6 to 8 week period.
Right. And how many songs were on your album?
10 total.
Okay. All right.
And Glass House originally had 5 singles.
Okay.
And then I cut it down because the timing. Like, I started, when I first planned everything out, I planned it out for a 4-week release. And then my contact was like, you need to push that to 6. So you don't think that makes the difference, but like, I started releasing singles in June and the album wasn't out until January. Like, it's wild to think about, like, holy cow, there's such a process and like length to doing this. Well, anyway, so the first album, I didn't have any of that information, and I got my master back for the album. So I'd been advertising it, like saying this is the release date, yada, yada, yada. I didn't get my master back until 5 days before the release day. And I would love to remaster that whole project at some point, just because like I'm older and I think my voice is a little more like seasoned now and I could do it a little better justice. Yeah. But I also am like, I would love to give it the justice in like a marketing standpoint, because 5 days before a release is just stressful. Yeah. So once we kind of got over the hump of that, within like a week of it being out, I already had like 7 of the Glass House songs done.
Oh wow.
So this was like November, early December.
Okay. Of 23.
Yes.
Okay.
I lined up, so I asked Derek, the producer from Coudersport. Mm-hmm. He had been working with a producer. His name's Blake. He's in LA. Okay. And he was with a band called O Weatherly. Another like kind of pop punk band. They toured all over and everything. And I just had kind of that gut instinct. I'm like, I want to work with Blake. Like, I don't know why, but like, I want to work with Blake. Yeah. And so I asked Derek, I'm like, would you be willing to ask Blake if he would want to work with me? And we hopped on a phone call, and within like 10 minutes, like Blake and I were vibing, and I'm like, we are
cool.
going to make
Good.
very cool stuff. Like, we just have very cool, like, personalities.
Yeah.
So we lined it up to go out January 2nd.
To LA.
Yeah, to LA. So Derek had moved back to Pennsylvania at that point.
Okay. I was going to ask you if Derek is back here.
Yeah, he is back here.
Right.
And my guitarist is in Scranton as well.
Okay.
So he flew from like Buffalo. I flew from Nashville. Had the worst day of my life. Like, I show up to the airport 2.5 hours early. The line is around like pillars, and it is time to get on my flight, and I'm still like half a mile away from like checking my bag because it's day after New Year's. So I'm texting the guys, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, but like I'm stuck in Nashville. Like, I will get to LA as soon as I can. So I ended up getting into LA that night. So we lost a day of recording. The next day, I think we recorded over it first. And again, same situation. First time I ever met Blake, like 10 minutes, we started to like write a song, and like the whole week just went super smooth. I was out there for a total of 14 days. We got through the first week, and I think we'd been going like very hard, and Blake was like, let's take a day off. It's like, I take the day off, and then I wake up the next day and I'm so sick. Like,
oh boy.
Headache. Like, I was not good.
Oh boy.
They're like, why don't you stay home and like just chill? I think I had COVID. Well, the day after that, I'm like, guys, we only have 3 days to get this album done, and we have like 4 songs to do at this point.
Yeah.
And the last song was Betrayal, which is like one of the hardest. Like, I belt on it, and I didn't do it like intentionally. So it was very hard on my voice.
Because you're sick, you're ill.
You're sick,
yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, this sounds really cool, but I don't know if I can like ever replicate it like without being sick. But yeah, so wild experience, but we were out there for 2 weeks.
Let me say, you're in good company. The Beatles, Twist and Shout, their song Twist and Shout. Last song they recorded, they recorded their very first album in one day. Recorded, I forget how many songs were on the album, but the last song was Twist and Shout. Lennon had a head cold, and they'd already done the whole album, and he has to, and they do it in one take, but his voice is shot, it's shredded, and you can hear it on the thing. And he probably thought the same thing as you did. How am I going to do this again?
Yeah.
You know, how am I going to do this when I don't have a cold? So you're in good company. You're in very good company.
I'll draw on him for
That's
inspiration.
Right. Yeah. So the second album was recorded in L.A.
Yeah.
Now you've mentioned Blake, you've mentioned Derek, and you. Did they do all the other instruments, or did you bring in session people to do the other instruments?
No, they did. So the idea was that Derek was gonna do the mix, and then Blake would do the master. So like Blake is a phenomenal guitarist, and he is very good on the piano too. So Blake pretty much was like executive producer, and then Derek kind of helped fill in some of the like auxiliary instruments and stuff like that.
So essentially it's those two guys that are doing all the instruments and all that on the album. Okay.
Yeah, and then my contribution is like, if I hear something, I'll just sing it. So there's a song on the album called Winter's Garden that it wasn't on the list to be recorded. I hadn't written it. I had soaked in the tub when I was in LA, and I got this idea for the opening line, and I took it to the guys the next day, and I'm like, I wrote this in the bathtub in like 10 minutes. And they're like, I actually really like that. Like, what do you hear? And I'm like, I hear this piano, and like, so I'll like sing out like that for them. So I don't take credit for like the instrument. But I'm like, here's the idea.
Another Beatle reference with the other part of that songwriter, McCartney. None of them knew how to write music, and for like the especially the string arrangements and that to like Eleanor Rigby and all that, he would whistle those.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, you're in good company.
No, strings are like one of my strengths, which makes like no sense because I've never played strings or anything, but I can sing it and do what I want to do.
Yeah. So I mean, the fact that I think it's knowing music theory and knowing how the language of music really helps when you're in an ensemble and you've got to talk to the other people.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You can't. Well, it's I will also say, I mean, you need to know that. But when you're in that kind of that creative microcosm of a band, or as your producer and all that, I mean, you can do that.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any shame in doing it. I mean, God, McCartney does it.
Yeah.
So you're in good company.
Thank you.
Wow. Okay, so second album, you're working on it. When did it come out?
January of this year.
This year.
Yeah.
And it's Glass Houses, right?
Glass House.
Wow. So we're kind of up to now. So you lived in Nashville because you said you flew out from Nashville with the mile of people in the Nashville airport. But you're back here now.
Yeah.
Okay. So get us from Nashville back to Jersey Shore.
Oh, I made stupid 20-year-old mistakes.
Who hasn't?
Yeah, and that's why, like, I take it with grace, and if this can be, like, inspirational for someone, like, just take everything with, like, a grain of salt and a smile, because life's not that serious.
Yeah.
But when I moved to Nashville, like, I was like, I'm not getting a job. I'm taking 1 year to, like, do things that make me happy. Like, I had been very fortunate. I had sold real estate. I had, like, money saved. And I had worked so hard for so long. Like, you're putting in, like, 70 hours a week, and you're just burnt out. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to live 1 year of, like, eat, pray, love. And, like, I would get ethnical foods, like, stuff I can't eat around here, explore shops, like, do that kind of stuff. I went to Scotland, like, did some traveling.
Okay.
Did super cool
stuff. You're not limiting your Thai food to Nashville. Okay. All right. Good.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say, no, wait a minute. No, you just switched one area code for another.
Yeah, no.
Okay. All right. So now you're going to Scotland.
Yeah. So Nashville's kind of like Nashville was just kind of my, like, hub of, like, live life and find life.
Your year.
Yeah. So at the end of that year, I was like, okay, well, now the money's running out. Like, I need to find a job. And believe it or not, like, degrees in biology and psychology and criminal justice don't get you very far on Indeed.
Really?
So I then decided, I was like, you know what? If I'm going to have a job, I want a job that I enjoy. Like, I've never had a job that I just wake up in the morning and I'm, like, so excited to go to work. I got a job at a dog hotel. Like, a luxury dog hotel, and it was the best.
No, wait a minute. So what was your job? Were you the concierge? Were you the check-in? Or did you have to go and clean up the rooms?
Yeah, no, kind of all of it.
Okay. All right.
And it's, oh my gosh, like, I will rep them till the day I die. My little yardstick family. They're in Nashville and Dallas. They have multiple locations.
Yeah.
Basically, they're a very small setting. Like, we only allow, like, 5 dogs in a play group together, but they all get their own individual rooms. And so, like, they have, like, little rooms with glass doors. We gave them room service. They could get, like, puppuccinos and, like, all kinds of stuff, and then they go out to play.
I'd love
my
that.
God. I had the time of my life. I was so heartbroken when I, like, had to leave Nashville. But what was happening is, like, I wasn't even making enough to, like, pay the rent.
Sure.
And so, like, I wasn't eating. And, like, I'm like, oh my God, like, how many months can you, like, do this? Like, I'm like, my dog is good, but, like, I'm living off ramen noodles.
Yeah.
So I finally got down to, like, the last
day that I actually reached for the dog food, I was like, there's got to be a better way.
Yes. Yeah, no, so funny, but not funny again, like, humbling moment.
Sure.
I, like, ran out of money for the week and, like, literally had nothing. Like, I knew I was about to move, so I hadn't stocked up a pantry, and, like, I'd just been working my way, like, through a pantry. And I'm like, I need something. And I gathered up all the change, like, around the house, like, at my car, like, filled up the cup holder. And I went to, in Nashville, the grocery stores are called Kroger.
Yep.
And so I pull up to Kroger, and I'm, like, counting my little, like, getting everything in, like, a little Ziploc bag. And this guy comes up to my window, and he's, like, homeless. And he's like, is there any chance, like, do you have like $1? And I'm like, bro, I'm so sorry, but like, I'm literally taking change so that I can go get milk. But like, if I see you when I come out, like, I'll gladly give you something.
Yeah.
So like, I go in, I cash it out, I get like $20. I'm like, yes, I'm good. Like milk, peanut butter, and bread for the week.
Yeah.
And I go out and like the guy is nowhere to be found.
Oh.
But yeah. So pretty much like, I say I backed myself into a corner, but like I think God put me in a position where it's like I knew I needed to move home, but I was resisting it for like months and months and months. Yeah. And so he's like, okay, like now you have to go home.
Yeah.
And I text my dad and I'm like, I don't need a lecture, but will you help me move home? Mm-hmm. By December 1st, I told my landlord, like, because at the time, like, I wasn't behind on rent, but I knew I was gonna be. Like, I just didn't want to, like, put someone through that. Yeah. So we packed it all up.
So dad come down. Dad did lecture with your brother.
Yeah.
Okay. No lecture, nothing. Good for you. Good. Yeah. Good on you, Dad.
Yeah.
All right. Because, I mean, good on him, because, but good on you to have the fortitude to say, Dad, it's, hey, cool, good for you. So that was when? That was like, because
I just moved back December 8th.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so that brings us up to, boom, today.
Yes.
So what's next for you? What's coming up music wise? You're still writing, obviously.
Yeah.
You said Blake was in
L.A.
Derek is Scranton? No.
Like Coudersport.
Oh, Coudersport. And your guitar player's in Scranton. Got it. Okay.
Yes. You got it.
Over here. I got everybody in their right position. Okay. Are you still working with Blake and the guitars from Scranton and all that stuff?
Yeah. Derek, I haven't been in recent touch with. I know he's super busy with like work. He's working for his family and whatnot. Okay. So I don't know where he's at with music. But I did contact my guitarist for the show that we have together here on the 18th. And he's doing all kinds of stuff. They're recording albums and whatnot. I had told him my next project is going to be a big project. I would like to do a double album at some point. And so I have kind of like the concept and the idea. And Blake and I have decided, like, so we don't absolutely kill ourselves, to like try to record 5 to 10 songs at a time.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm hoping, like, it'll be kind of nice to have possibly a year of like prepping and like being able to like do videos and all the things I haven't been able to do yet. Yeah. While doing these kind of like small bursts of recording.
Right.
So hopefully by like 26, I'll have something out.
Cool. And you alluded to the songwriter showcase that we're doing down at Avenue 209 Coffee in Lock Haven on the 18th of April with you, Noah Malott, and some old guy that is just along for the ride down at Avenue Coffee. So this is going to be a special show for you because
this is my first show ever.
Yeah.
I've never hit the stage. I've never performed, like, save for that one talent show in 8th grade. Yeah. So yeah, I'm very excited.
I'm excited too because I think you mentioned it in passing and it didn't absorb me. And then after we got the show, you said, well, this is the first time I'm on stage. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm like, oh, crud. But then I was listening to this stuff. I'm like, oh, she'll do this. She just needs the right backing person. Yeah. But her friend from Scranton will come over and do that. And then you had said, oh, he's busy with stuff. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
You offered to do this stuff. So I have been learning your songs.
Thank you.
And They're not easy.
No.
No.
The waiting game is very difficult.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have to make it into simple guitar. And, we're kind of wrapping up here. I'll save this till the end. The boilerplate questions we have. What was your first instrument? What was your first guitar, your first piano, your first recorder? What was your first musical instrument?
First guitar was a Fender acoustic guitar.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that. How old were you when?
Oh my gosh, I think the first guitar I got I was probably 10. Maybe a little bit younger.
Okay. Was that the same one you learned the 3 chords from the guys at Mount Aloysius?
Yes.
Okay, so you still have that guitar?
I don't. I dropped it on moving day and just
in December?
Completely no.
Oh, before that. Okay.
Yeah, way back in college I dropped it in the parking lot. Yeah.
Crud.
Yeah. But no, I have a Taylor now.
Do you know which model it is?
I have no idea.
That's fine.
She's very pretty.
Okay, you know what? It's okay. Taylor Swift started out on Taylors.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was I think she still is. I haven't seen a Taylor catalog in a couple of years, but she used to have a signature baby Taylor guitar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, she's from PA too.
Yeah, Reading.
I know. Well, I think, didn't she grow up north of Scranton? Up in not Tunkhannock, but...
So her dad is from Montoursville.
Right. But there's a connection. The way Montoursville, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
You probably know more about her than I do. Then, so, yeah.
Yeah.
But she's from Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And she has her own Taylor guitar, and you have a Taylor guitar, so it's kismet. So first guitar was a Fender. Mm-hmm. Dropped in the parking lot. Is there a musical instrument? Is there a piece of gear that you got rid of and you would like to have back?
For sentimental purposes, when I was probably 7 or 8 years old. No, I had to have been older because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to order them. But anyway, I somehow got on Amazon and got wireless microphones. Mm-hmm. Without any of the system, it's just the microphones. and so I decorated them. I customized these microphones, and I would practice singing Hannah Montana way back in the when. So for sentimental purposes, I wish they would find their way back to me, but they're probably in a landfill.
Oh yeah, it'd be a little hard.
But I think it'd be cool because it's just kind of hey,
yeah.
That was with you way back when, and you didn't look where you are now.
That's right. Yeah, you could be in the museum someday. This is the first microphone.
Craft paper.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun. So, what's your? So we got the Taylor. We got the okay. I think we're down to the. Is there anything we didn't talk about that you wanted to talk about?
I don't think so.
Is there anything we missed? And if there is, I suspect we're going to be seeing each other, in the future. We can do this again sometime.
Yeah.
Maybe when the second album or the third album comes out, maybe we can do this again.
Absolutely.
So we've talked about everything you wanted to talk about.
I think so.
Okay.
Glass House is available everywhere online.
Okay.
It's available for streaming. It's available for purchase on iTunes and in the Google Play Store. My website is katewasson.live. Mm-hmm. There's some really cool stuff on there.
Okay.
I designed it all myself. And there's a scavenger hunt on the website. There is all of the original voice memos, from what we record off of are in the archives. And then I have a subscription section. It's only $5 a month if you want to support a local artist. It's called the Cake Club and the Glass House Lounge. There's exclusive merch. I have recipes, cooking recipes, blogs, all kinds of cool stuff.
All right. Full disclosure, I have not been to the website. You damn sure know I'm going to be on that website when we finish this up because that sounds like... see, you know how to do this stuff, and,
Yes.
and I'm really impressed by that because me, so someday we'll chat about my whole learning experience about all this stuff. But I still approach this stuff like 1970, early 80s stuff with, recipes for music. No. But that is so cool.
Yeah, I wanted I had this idea for the Glass House Lounge. It kind of started as a concept for like shows and like a VIP, like an idea for like that. And then I was like, why do you have to wait for shows to do this? Like, why can't I design something on the website that like acts as a lounge? And so my thought was, and this is where like Glass House kind of plays into it, is each of the rooms are represented. So like the attic is the place for thinking, and that's where like the blog is. And then the kitchen is where the recipes are. There's the listening room, which is where all the voice memos are. The closet, which is like the merch store and stuff. So it was kind of like too good, to like not do. But I need to be better about the recipes because I love cooking. I just don't post much.
So the website again is
KateWasson.live.
.live. All right. We will highlight it on the podcast website. You're on all the socials. You're on the TikTok. You're on the Instagram. You're on the Facebook. You're on all of that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And we will. Don't call me sir, please. And we'll link the pertinence on the podcast website. So, last chance. Now that we didn't talk about that, you want to talk about.
I don't believe so. This has been great.
Well, this has been fun, and so all the stuff that this is all the stuff that I've been collecting in the back of my mind while we've been chatting. I am so I am impressed with you. I am inspired by you, and I am intrigued by you for a number of reasons. Number one, you're a very brave young lady.
Thank you.
You are a very brave human being. I don't think at the age of 20 going into 23, that I would have ran for an elective office. I don't think I had the maturity to do it. And you did that. And you took your loss and learned from it.
Yeah.
You went to Nashville and then kind of grew into the music. And then just, I'm going to record. And here's a guy that's going to help me. And I am just impressed. And that's why I love doing these things. You just get to learn about people. And we are so much more than, it's Kate Watts, she's a musician. When our friend mentioned you, that's what she said. Oh, she's coming back from Nashville, and she's a musician, and she's a songwriter. And I'm like, well, I've got nothing to offer this person if she's from Nashville. But you really are. You're an inspiring person. You're a brave person, and you're a talented person. And I am a better person for having met you. And this has been a great experience for me.
Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh. And I am looking forward to sharing a stage with you and Noah in a couple of weeks down at Avenue Coffee. But I look forward to working with you in some capacity at some point in the future. This has been a great experience. You're a wonderful person, and I'm glad I got to meet you.
Thank you so much. I look forward to it.
Yeah. So we're going to close out with Over It. And I'm not quite over it because this has been fun. But tell us about this song.
So Over It was the first song that I knew was going to be on this album. And
which album?
The second one. This is off of Glass House.
Okay.
And so I joke and I say that I don't play any instruments, but occasionally I can squeak out a couple notes. So on Over It, I had picked up, I have an acoustic, Acoustasonic guitar.
Yeah.
And I love it. It gives super cool sound. And so
Fender.
I was just kind of like playing. Yeah. And wrote the first like bit of Over It, and it kind of came from a place of like I was very inspired by Taylor Swift's Reputation album. It's always been one of my favorites because it's very much dark pop, which I like over like bubblegum pop. I like the like dark bassy kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I knew Over It would be that sound, and I have always had it in my head that that's going to be a show opener at some point because I feel like the cinematic, like theatrics of it.
Yeah.
But it's basically just getting to a point in your life where you're just fed up and you're over it, and you decide to do something different.
I think that's you in spades.
Yeah.
That really is you. You know, I mean, you're not afraid to try it. And
Yeah.
you're not afraid to, at least in this short time that I've gotten to know you. I mean, that. Dang. Kate, it has been an absolute pleasure. Thank
you so much.
And we are far from over it with Kate Wasson. Keep an eye out for her over it as we close out these proceedings on the Rec Room Radio Hour podcast.
As you make yourself while you're lying there on the couch, I see you when you think no one's around. I hear you when you don't make a sound. These tiny little details all add up in the coattails of chasing fame and hoping endlessly. You couldn't paint yourself any worse than I did, but I'm over it now. That's right, I should be over it now, but I'm over it now. I'm pretty good at defending myself. Watch me while I take you out. I see you there in the last row. I'll see you when you are exposed. These tiny little details all add up in the coattails, wishing you played the game a little smarter, little smarter. You couldn't paint yourself any worse than I did, but I'm over it now. That's right, I should be over it now, but I'm over it now. But I'm over it now. But I'm over it now. You couldn't paint yourself any worse than I did, but I'm over it now. That's right, I should be over it now, but I'm over it now. You couldn't paint yourself any worse than I did, but I'm over it now. That's right, I should be over it now, but I'm over it now. But I'm over it now. But I'm over it now. That's right, I should be.
I am not quite over, but we are. Over it! From Kate Wasson here on the Rec Room Radio Hour podcast. It was a wonderful experience to sit down with this remarkably talented young lady. And if you weren't fascinated by this story, then we need to talk. So thanks to Kate. This episode was recorded at WXPI Community Radio Studios at the historic, majestic, and brick-reinforced Pajama Factory in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, and it mixed and edited at Airline Studio with my girl Roxy right here beside me. Theme written by the Clark McLean Band is used to play in and play out this episode, and we do thank everyone for listening to this podcast and absorbing and celebrating the music, songwriters, and performers here in the Central Susquehanna Valleys. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and neighbors, I am your host, Michael Lundy, asking you, please don't fret, stay tuned, and play nice until we meet again on the podcast. Bye-bye.